Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to lay out the complete blueprint for Google Ads. Now, I know it can seem super complicated, right? But forget all that. Just think of it as a simple set of instructions. We're going to build a successful campaign right from the ground up, one step at a time. So let's get into it.
Look, every business, and I mean every business, needs customers. But what if you could stop chasing them down? What if instead they could find you at the exact moment they're searching for a solution? Well, that's the core promise of Google Ads, and we're about to show you exactly how to make that happen.
All right, so here's our game plan. First, we'll build a solid foundation. Then we'll pick the right kind of campaign. After that, we'll craft the perfect ad, find our ideal customer, and finally, we'll talk about budgeting and how to know if you're actually succeeding. Let's start with step 1.
Okay, first things first. You wouldn't build a house on shaky ground, would you? Of course not. And the exact same thing is true for Google Ads. You have to start with a strong foundation, making sure everything is set up right from the get-go.
You know, at its heart, the structure of Google Ads is actually pretty simple. It's just 3 levels. At the very top, you've got your account. That's your business info and all your billing stuff lives. Inside that, you have campaigns, and each campaign has one specific goal. And then, inside each campaign are your ad groups. That's where you put your keywords and your actual ads. Just remember that. Account, campaign, ad group. That's the core structure.
So, the first step is easy. Setting up your payment method, you gotta do it. But the second step, this one is absolutely critical. You have to decide on your goal. Before you do anything else, you need to tell Google what success looks like for you. Are you trying to get leads, rake in sales, just get more website traffic, or maybe build brand awareness? This one decision will shape every single choice you make from here on out.
Okay, our foundation is solid. Now we have to decide where our ads are actually going to show up. Think of it like you're putting on a show. You have to choose the right stage to have the biggest impact on your audience.
So these are your main options. Search ads are for grabbing people who are actively searching for what you offer. Super high intent there. Display ads are those banner ads you see all over the web. Great for just getting your name out there. Video ads on YouTube? Perfect for telling a story. Shopping ads are a must if you're in e-commerce. They put your products right in the search results. And then there's Performance Max. That's Google's AI-driven, all-in-one campaign that runs your ads everywhere. The right choice here goes right back to that goal we just talked about.
All right, we picked our stage. Now it's time to write the script. This is the fun part. This is where we craft that perfect message that's going to grab our audience's attention and, more importantly, earn that click.
The absolute key to getting this right is understanding why someone is searching in the first place. We call this search intent. Think about it. Are they trying to learn something, compare a few options, or are they ready to buy right now? Your ad has to match their intent. If they want to learn, offer a guide. If they're ready to buy, give them a discount. You gotta speak their language.
Now we target this intent using keywords, which brings us to a fundamental trade-off. Do you want to cast a wide net and get the most reach possible? That's broad match. Or do you want to be more like a sniper using a spear for extreme precision? That's exact match.
Let me make this super clear. Let's say your keyword is women's hats. With broad match, your ad might pop up for something like sun visors for ladies. With exact match, it will only show up if someone types in women's hats and nothing else. And then there's phrase match and the quotation marks. That's kind of the happy medium. It'll show up for searches that include that phrase, like buy women's hats online.
And here's a pro tip that will save you a ton of money. Use negative keywords. This is you telling Google what searches you don't want to show up for. So if you sell luxury hats, you might add words like cheap or free as negative keywords. This stops you from paying for clicks from people who are never going to be your customers anyway. It is one of the best ways to stop wasting cash.
So what does a great ad actually look like? Well, the anatomy is pretty simple. You need a headline that hits on the customer's problem and offers your solution. Then, a description that clearly lays out the benefits and features. And finally, a super strong call to action. Tell them exactly what to do next. Buy today, learn more, get a free quote. Don't leave them guessing.
Okay, our ad is written. It's perfect. But a great ad shown to the wrong person is completely useless. So this part is about 2 things: finding the right audience and then making sure the place you send them to is totally ready for them when they get there. This is where Google Ads gets really powerful. The control you have is incredible. You can target people by their location, right down to the city, by the language they speak, even by what device they're on. You can also target audiences based on their interests, and this one's huge. You can show ads specifically to people who've already visited your website.
That's called remarketing, and it's so effective.
So you've done all this work. You've targeted the perfect person with the perfect ad. They see it, and they click. But the journey is not over, not even close. So the big question is, where do they land?
They land on your landing page. And that experience? It has to be flawless. It needs to load fast, especially on a phone. The headline has to match the ad they just clicked on. It needs a big, obvious call to action button, and it needs trust elements like reviews or testimonials to seal the deal. Remember this, a bad landing page will kill a great ad campaign every single time.
All right, we are in the home stretch. We've reached the final part of our blueprint. We've built the whole structure, we wrote the script, we found the audience. Now, we gotta talk about money, and most importantly, how to know if any of this is actually working.
When it comes to paying for clicks, you really have two main philosophies. You can go full manual, where you set every single bid yourself, total control. Or you can let Google's AI do the heavy lifting for you with automated bidding, which, let's be honest, is what most people do these days.
With automated bidding, you're basically just giving the AI its marching orders. You tell it what you want. Do you want the most clicks you can possibly get for your budget? Or do you want to maximize conversions, like actual sales or leads? You can even get more specific and tell it to aim for a target CPA, which is how much you're willing to pay for a new customer, or a target ROS, which is the exact return you want on your ad spend.
But let me be perfectly clear. None of this matters if you can't measure your results. You absolutely must set up conversion tracking. This means putting a little piece of code, the Google tag, on your site. Then you define what a conversion actually is for you. Is it a form fill, a purchase, a phone call? Then you hook it all up to Google Analytics to see what's working. Without tracking, you are flying blind. You're just guessing.
And that's really the key takeaway here. Google Ads isn't some kind of magic black box. It's not a dark art. It's a logical system. It is a blueprint. And once you understand that framework, the foundation, the campaigns, the ads, the targeting, and the measurement, you can build pretty much anything you want.
So we've laid out the entire plan, from the very first brick to the final inspection. The blueprint is officially in your hands. So the only question left is, what are you going to build first?